Here's a playlist that represents Erickson's stages of psychosocial development. So for stage number 1, trust versus mistrust, I chose Rockabye Baby.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there.
She tells him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I got to do.
It's obviously clear to us that the mother is singing to her baby, telling him or her that she's going to love them and make sure that they have a great life unlike hers. And this relates to this stage of trust versus mistrust, because within this stage it's so important for the infant to be loved and cared for in order to establish a secure attachment and therefore be more likely to have more secure relationships throughout the rest of their life. Stage number 2, autonomy versus shame and doubt. I chose Am I Wrong by Nico and Vinz.
Am I wrong for thinking out the box from where I stay? Am I wrong for saying that I choose another way? I ain't trying to do what everybody else doing.
So in this stage, children are going to want to do things on their own, and they're going to want to begin acting more independently than before. And in one line it says, I ain't trying to do what everybody else is doing. So this shows how the singer themselves want to act independently, just like the children in this stage. And children are also going to begin to doubt their abilities in this stage, and we can see the concept of doubt within the song also when it says, am I wrong for thinking out of the box from where I stay? Am I wrong for saying I'll choose another way? So the singer is expressing his doubts about the things that he's doing when he asks, am I wrong? So I feel that this really represents stage 2 pretty well. So for stage 3, initiative versus guilt, I chose Cats in the Cradle.
He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay.
In this stage, children frequently show the desire to want to play more often, and they want to play so much because they're able to assert themselves, show their individualism, grow their creativity, and explore their skills. So in the song we can see this when it says, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. So it shows that that kid is wanting to play with his father. But in real life, if the desire to play is squelched by, let's say, like a parent or a guardian, then the children may end up growing senses of guilt. And we can see this in the song because the dad says, not today, I've got a lot to do. So the singer's son did not have the opportunity to play with the father as he wanted, so he might end up feeling guilty. So now for stage 4, industry versus inferiority, I chose capable of anything.
What is this? It doesn't make much sense. They sing it like a pop song. You're capable of anything.
During this stage, children are going to face the struggle of new academic and social challenges. So the child is either going to rise to the challenge and feel accomplished in a sense of confidence, or they're going to compare themselves to their peers and feel inferior when they fail. So this song really just shows the feelings that the children go through during this stage, because in the first few lines of the song it says, it doesn't make much sense, they sing it like a pop song, you're capable of anything. So this basically shows the encouragement that children receive from their parents and what they see around them when their peers can do more and more complex tasks. So it gives them a sense of encouragement when it says you're capable of anything. And I think just the name itself shows how it represents the stage, which is all about like achieving things and, you know, like rising to the challenge. And stage 5, identity versus confusion, I had to choose Try by Pink. This one's for you, Miss Schmilo. I had to choose Pink for you. I know you love her, so I was like, oh, I'll do this one.
Where there is desire, there is gonna be a flame. Where there is a flame, someone's bound to get burned. But just because it burns doesn't mean you're gonna die. You gotta get up and try.
So in this stage, teens are going to try to discover their sense of identity and who they are in this world while they face the many internal and external conflicts of their own that may leave them feeling very confused and unmotivated. So I chose this song to represent the stage because I feel that it really shows how sometimes in life, especially in the teenage years, there will be setbacks, but you shouldn't let them set you back because you have to keep going, or as Pink puts it, you've got to get up and try. So for stage 6, intimacy versus isolation, I chose moral of the story.
Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end it's better for me, that's the moral of the story.
In this stage, we explore deeper, more meaningful, and more long-term relationships than we ever did before. And if we're successful, we will feel love and security in the relationship. But if we're unsuccessful, we may isolate ourselves or feel lonely and depressed. So I chose this song, Moral of the Story, because it's obvious that the girl is talking about an unsuccessful relationship that ended and how she is trying to just cope with it. And from the song and her singing, you can obviously tell that she's heartbroken and depressed and lonely. And that's just like how other people are who are unsuccessful in this stage. They feel the same way. So I felt like it was good that I chose this because it really just sums up the stage well. So for stage 7, generativity versus stagnation, I actually chose 2 songs which I feel really well represent both contrasting sides of this stage. So for the generativity part, I chose St. Elmo's Fire.
Take me where my future's a lion, St. Elmo's fire. I can climb the highest mountain, across the wildest sea. I can feel St. Elmo's fire burning in me.
So generativity is all about being productive, feeling accomplished and successful with your life, your job, your family, and just your actions overall. So I feel that this song is really all about this because it says, I can climb the highest mountain, cross the wildest sea. I can feel St. Elmo's fire burden in me. So the singer obviously feels very motivated by St. Elmo's fire, which burns within him, letting him feel as though he can accomplish anything, as though he's on top of this world. As for the stagnation part of it, that's all about feeling the opposite, so unproductive, disconnected with society. So I chose Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you got us feeling alright.
Most of the characters that are coming into the bar have broken or unfulfilled dreams, and so hence they represent the stagnation part of the stage. But in contrast, Billy Joel, the piano man's job is to help them forget about life for a while. So this obviously shows generativity from Billy Joel, the piano man, because he is helping other people with their lives, and therefore in the end will probably feel feelings of success and accomplishment because of the way he's helping these people who have broken dreams, unfulfilled lives, or whatever. So he's the contrast in this section. So last stage, stage 8, integrity versus despair. I had to choose My Way by Frank Sinatra.
I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
So this stage is all about reflecting back on your life, and people in this stage will either feel happiness and satisfaction of having lived a good and productive life, or they're going to feel regretful about not having taken opportunities that they could have taken. So I thought My Way really represented this stage well because Frank Sinatra is singing about how he's looking back and reflecting on his life, and you can tell that he's content about the life that he lived. And he says, and now the end is here. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and what's more than this, I did it my way. So it's clear to us, the audience, that he's looking back with pride and happiness and success, and he shows the positive side of this stage.
Hi, so I'm doing Vygotsky's theory, which revolves around how social interaction is needed to be educated and to learn and to encode. So the first song I chose for that is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which has to do with kids, learning to explore for themselves, exploring the world for themselves to learn things.
Here you go again, you say you want your freedom. Well, who am I to keep you down? It's only right that you should play the way you feel it. But listen carefully to the sound of your loneliness like a heartbeat as you
My
make.
next song is Children of the Moon by the Alan Parsons Project, another good one, and it's about how, I think it relates to Vygotsky's theory about how children construct their own knowledge rather than getting it from their parents. The next one, called Sergeant Rock, is related to how Vygotsky states that learning is established through social interaction.
Sergeant Rock is going to help me make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. And Sergeant Rock is going to help me make the girl mine, keep her stood in line. And make the girl mine wave the victory sign.
The last song I chose for this project is literally called I Never Learn, which is based off of Vygotsky's principle of learning appearing twice. First being in the outside world, and second being internal in a person.
So here are the songs that I felt represented Piaget's stages of cognitive development. The first one I chose for the sensory motor stage was Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, because I felt that a lot of the lyrics related to parts of this stage like object permanence and exploring the environment through senses like vision and touch. As you can see, some of the lyrics like I can't sleep until I feel your touch and I can't see clearly when you're gone reminded me a lot of object permanence and sensing the environment, because just like he can't see clearly when that person is gone, a baby can't see an object clearly once you hide it under a blanket or some other solid surface.
I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
For the pre-operational stage, I chose Have You Seen My Childhood by Michael Jackson, because in this song he talks about his childhood and some of his memories that he has, and a lot of the things he mentioned had to do with playing pretend and imagining things. At some points he even talks about playing pirates and having conquests, so I felt this really reflected the sense of playing pretend and symbolism that you see in children in the pre-operational stage.
I'm searching for that wonder in my youth, like pirates and adventurous dreams, a conquest and kings on a throne. Before you judge me, try hard to love me.
For the concrete operational stage, I chose the song Mind Over Matter, because this song talks about using your thinking and your mind to overcome tough situations. And just like that, in this stage, children begin to think using concrete logic, and they really start to put their mind over whatever matter they're being forced to consider.
None of our matter, does it matter to any of us? Change the subject, I'm heavy on your love. I miss that train, New York City race. Fly to Eastern can be deadly. You know you're on my mind, and if the woods don't break, I'll be shaking. 'Cause I'm a young man after all.
For the formal operational stage, I chose If I Were a Boy by Beyonce, because in this cognitive stage, children can finally begin thinking about abstract hypothetical situations. And in Beyonce's song, she's considering the hypothetical situation of if she were a boy instead of a girl. And she talks about how if she were a boy, she would experience a lot of different experience throughout her daily life.
If I were a boy, even just for a day, I'd roll out of bed in the morning and throw on what I wanted and go.
The attachment theory was originally developed by John Bowlby, and it is a psychological model that describes the dynamics of long-term and short-term emotional relationships between humans, especially developing children. Attachment styles are characterized in different ways of interacting and behaving in relationships. During early childhood, these attachment styles are created on how children and caregivers interact. During adulthood, these are used to describe patterns in attachment during romantic relationships. There are 4 styles of attachment. Mary Ainsworth in 1970 identified 3 main styles of attachment. Mary Main in 1990 identified the last one. For secure attachment style, I chose the song Broken Arrows by Avicii.
The only thing that's black and white is that you don't have to walk alone this time. You have to tear down the walls that live in your heart to find someone you call home. Now you see me for me and my beautiful scars. Take my hand, don't let go. 'Cause it's not too late, it's not too late. I see the hope in your heart.
Now, it is very obvious that Avicii is singing to someone he cares about. And in this style of attachment, it's all about what the name is, security. Feeling confident in a relationship and feeling the mutual trust. It's the most comforting out of all of the attachment styles. For anxious ambivalent style, I chose the song Out of the Woods by Taylor Swift.
Sun came up, I was looking at you. Remember when I couldn't take the heat? I walked out, I said I'm setting you free, but the monsters turned out to be just trees. When the sun came up, you were looking at me. You were looking at me. Oh, you were looking at me. I remember.
Taylor sings, I walked out and said I'm setting you free, but the monsters turned out to be just trees. In this song, she has a lot of anxiety about the relationship that she's in because it is very fragile and causes a high amount of stress, whether the person is there or isn't. For anxious avoidance style, I chose the song Mixed Signals by Ruth B.
I know I could never leave them. Mixed signals, they're killing me. I don't know what you want, but I know what I need. The goodbyes, the lows, they I need you, no I don't. Every time I start to close the door, you knock, and I let you in. Loving you is my greatest sin.
In this song, she is reflecting about her past lover and how the whole relationship was toxic. Now, in this song, she doesn't wish to have a strong bond with this person because in avoidant attachment style, these people have experiences to be fearful of intimacy. For disorganized/disoriented style, I chose the song Let You Down by NF.
You walking toward you, with my head down, looking at the ground. I'm embarrassed for you, paranoia. What did I do wrong this time? That's parents for you, very loyal. Should I have my back? Could you put a knife in my hands? For what else should I carry for you? I care for you, but on the edge right now. I wish that I could say I'm proud. I'm sorry that I let you down. Let you down.
In disorganized attachment, one person may be feeling abused or may have traumatic experiences. And in NF's song, he is describing how this person is not giving him consistent support and he feels his safety, his emotional health may be in danger. This is the least comforting attachment style.